Hello there, fellow builders. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Going Medieval Tower of Knowledge. Episode 9, Doing a Lot of Earth Moving. Right, so almost all of the initial hut has been hauled back to the mainland, or the island. That's good. We only have a little bit of wood left. Not a significant amount. Not enough that I would care about. And the archways are now added in, and the columns are now added in. Here, I'll show you that. So as you can see, they have columns and arches, which means I should, if I'm not mistaken, be able to clay brick floor up. Oh, what did I just do? It doesn't help that, like, the autosave was like, all right, let me interrupt exactly when... Oh, you know, is it because this arch has low stability because there's no columns underneath? Yes. I need to change the arch location. I hadn't considered that because it's vertical stability. So, let's deconstruct these and I'll redesign it a little bit. Because these are obviously not helping. If I could... Okay, hold on. Stupid game. There we go. Up. Nope. Right. That overlay. Okay. Give me the arch. No, the arch. Ah! The highlight box for this thing is just like impossibly... Okay, there it goes. I'm going to cancel what we have already built here because I'm going to change the arch's location. So we should, and I don't know why I hadn't thought of this, we should have the arches exactly where the lower arches are. Because that's actually where it's stable. And if, you know, if we want support, that's where we're going to get the support. So I'll just continue the arches all the way up, or the pillars all the way up. I'm not entirely sure why this isn't stable enough. Oh, it is. We just hadn't... Oh, that's where the last pillars were. Yeah, right. So now this has a stability of 4, which is the max, and it should be able to support the roof above, the clay brick floor above, without much problem. And that would be correct. All right, this is the correct way to do stability. Brilliant. It is autumn 5, which means we have about 2 more days of potential growing left. And then, like, we get to a point where it's not reasonable for things to mature within the time left in the season. We have plenty of clay over mined out by Klein, so it's just a matter of hauling. It's not a matter of supply. Is flax a product that you can grow for linen? Yep, this is a, we have a flax farm field right here. But linen is the clothing that you're going to want for summer, not winter. Linens aren't very insulating. Alright, so there's another piece of sturdy clothing here, and I'm just looking on who has the most shabby, shoddy... Maybe it's Raveno? Yep, Raveno and Red Mist both are in need of better clothing. Now, unfortunately, the flimsy and the sturdy tiers aren't good. Like, they're upset by wearing them, but our tailor isn't really capable of making better stuff, so... The quality of stuff that we're getting is pretty lackluster, but, like, it's the best we can handle for now. Research available. So the question I have for you guys is, what research to get next? Here's a whole bunch of choices. We have defensive structure. So defensive structure gives us traps and stronger gates. We have cartography, which gives us the cartography table, which allows us to interact with the overland map and also give the caravan halt to tell where caravans should gather and depart. We've got entertainment, if we need more entertainment. We've got blacksmithing, if we want to make metal stuff. We've got research, too, if we want to make better research books. That might want to wait until we have, like, a proper library, but we could still build it. We've got fermenting, if we want to make booze and the like. And then steel, if we want to make steel. Although, I haven't gone about to try to find where coal might be, but I suspect it's somewhere around here. Well, I'm not going to bother trying to find it at nighttime when I can't see. Look at these trees. These like apple trees, quince trees, and like just completely taking over the island. It goes really fast. It's actually surprising how quickly the trees will spread. It's like much faster than what would make sense in a real life situation, in my opinion. So, if I'm not mistaken, the priority of this stockpile here, temp stocks, I believe allows for food to be stored in here, which is like okay, because I'd rather have it stored in this building than elsewhere. So let's go ahead and put another default stockpile here on the floor. Pull up the stockroom, copy and paste, and then maybe give everyone a day where they do hauling to try to haul everything to where it belongs. And I'll go ahead and, like, stick 2 torches in here, just for a little bit of light. But there's only a few roof tiles left to be made, and then we have this very handsome island stockpile thingy. At least I like it. Alright, defensive structure. Got it. So we'll save up for defensive structure. That is a 30 book, not a 20 book. So I'm going to raise the production to 30. Can you paste them on shelves? You can. Yeah. It's like storage can go to storage, if that makes sense. So now let's paste it in. Let's get it off of the ground here. Deconstruct that zone. And then deconstruct this zone. The floor of the butchery, or the cellar, is still correct. And the butchery zone is still correct as far as I know. And then once the roof is done, I think what I'll do is I'll just tell everyone to haul. And we'll just have like 1 day of getting everything put away. Nice. And it is officially a spare room. So if you're wondering, there is no like stockroom. There is a treasury, but that's not really a stockroom that I'm trying to build now. So there's no real room designation that would befit this room. So it's just going to be one of those generic rooms, and that's fine. But there's 67 floor spots. And then we can also consider potentially putting in shelves for stuff that can't fit on the floors that could be put on shelves, like textiles, for instance. But that would probably make more sense in a crafting room next to the tailor bench or something like that. So, I am going to raise the priority of haul just to try to get everything moved away. So now that the stockroom is built, the stockroom is going to be the priority, and while you vote on that, let's decide the next sort of project. So we have defenses, workshop, great hall, bedrooms. You can pick between those. And of all the types, we already have the kitchen. We don't have a workshop. We don't have a library. We don't have churches. We don't have chambers. We have a shared chamber. We don't have a great hall yet. Don't have an infirmary. Don't have prison cells. Don't have a training room. Don't have a treasury. All right, clearly, Router here is immortal. So while you vote, I'm gonna try to save and load just to see if I can get rid of him. At some point, it's gonna be annoying to have like the little like, hey, there's a beggar alert on my screen perpetually for the immortal beggar that never goes away. Cut it out. I know. He just won't leave. I'm just gonna tell my like people to attack him if saving and loading doesn't fix it. I'm just gonna gank him. It really doesn't look like he's leaving. Well, problem solved. Alignment. So this is about like whether we're good or bad. Oh, you know, the problem is with that, we did just massively change our alignment because of a stupid bug. So that might not be something that we want to live with in long term. Because obviously, like, murdering... It's such a stupid problem to have. Why? Why, game, are you, like, foisting a forever beggar on my... Like, this is just... I need him to go away. Yeah, I just want to, like, research books and eat cabbages in peace. And not have some sort of, like, immortal beggar chilling in my cellar. Whatever. I can fix this later. Okay, so it looks like defense is going to be the next priority. So once we have moved most of the stuff in here, I will do just that. I'll prioritize improving defenses. And I'm just going to go over... Yep. So no waste, no carcasses, and no clay or dirt, or clay brick, or ice blocks. Yep, that looks about right. Ooh, there's more winter clothing. Oh, he is hurt now. I don't know what hurt him. It wasn't me, because I saved and loaded. You're extremely malnourished. You don't say! I would feed you, but you refuse to talk to me. Curious, man. Alright, so there we go. This room is now mostly tidied up. We still have some more hauling to do. But I think the bulk of the needed hauling is done. And we're using a pretty decent amount of this stockroom. 44 of 67. But I like it. You know, it's an interesting concept to put it there. Well, I hope when he dies of hunger, I don't get hit with the rep thing, because, like, at that point, I really don't know how to solve it. Something to be solved off stream, I guess. So, changing the hull jobs, except for Ciceron, back to normal. Klein, do you still have a concussion? No. Cool. And now we're going to start focusing on defenses. Focus on defense. So when focusing on defenses, one thing I'm probably going to want is steel. And in order to get steel, I'm also going to need research 2. So, does the cancel tool work on the beggar? I mean, what, like cancel their existence? No, it doesn't. It's interesting thought, but no, it doesn't work like that. And in order to improve our defenses, I think what we're going to want to focus on is to get defensive structures researched. Now, later on in the defensive structures, you get like metal traps and stuff like that. And we can definitely lay traps, but having really mighty walls with good archers is a pretty good deterrent as well. One of the other things I was considering is, in order to get the dirt needed to build, it makes sense to get the dirt from sections underground that I'm going to want to excavate eventually, rather than to like import dirt from the mainland, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. Alright, looks like I do have my winter clothing. I'm gonna assume it's up here. And at least for now, it looks like everybody has some winter clothing that is they're suited to wear. So I don't think I need to worry about that right now. So this was intending to be like a fermenting room at some point. And I'll just move the dirt there to the gatehouse area here. So this was always intended to be like a temporary structure. And we'll get this removed, and then we'll place it back. We'll place like a more of a gatehouse thing here to deter enemies that come. Now, 2 of the enemies last raid did swim. And I had mentioned wanting to eventually enclose the entire island in walls, and that's still the case. So another piece of this, which is like a bit of a mega project, but I'm going to undertake it anyway, is to put soil all around the shallow perimeter of the island. Why do I have this pop up still? Thought I got rid of that. So let's go ahead and paint by numbers. Paint the perimeter. And what I would like to do once we have the, like... There we go, I can see it better. Once we have the perimeter wall is then put, like, our own walls up. And that will stop swimmers, forcing them to use the bridge. Because the bridge doesn't really serve a purpose if they can just swim to the island anyway. And I don't control their flow, because I don't want to have archery, places for archery covering the entire island. We're an island in the corner of the map for a reason, so that's gonna be one of the goals. And I'll be excavating even more subterranean projects, so that I can make use of the soil for the projects on the land up top. So that's what our island's eventually going to look like. Reverse moat building? Yeah, it came with a moat. We just need a little bit more wall. Alright, Klein. You are not mining because... Why? I honestly, I don't know. So this is maybe going to be a fermenting room or something like that. There's other rooms that are needed for cold areas. There we go. Finally, the dude that doesn't understand how to leave died. A problem that sorted itself out in time, and I wasn't blamed for his death. Good. Burn him. Klein's not mining because it's Klein. Yeah, it kind of feels that way sometimes. Get rid of the ramps underwater. So the ramps underwater is not going to really help raiders raid us, only because the ramps lead to a soil wall that they won't be able to climb. But once we have the entire walking path perimeter, we can do stuff like that. Now, the one issue that we have here is this here is going to be replaced from wood to soil, but I don't necessarily want to collapse this cabin while we do that, so I have to wait. Yeah, the guy finally left. Yeah, he left. He's getting polecat. Why are these polecats just going right through my gate? Yo, polecats. Can we agree that you're a wild animal? No, apparently we cannot. Because look at this. You're even eating the animal feed. Can you just stop? I'm gonna really need to wall it up, aren't I? The animals don't seem like these wicker gates don't work. Straight up, they do not work. Some were eating the beggar, but some were going downstairs to eat the animal feed. That much I am positive of. And it's also because, like, there's just a ton of animals at it. You know what? Alright, that's it. Hey, who wants meat tonight? Wildlife. Polecat. You are going to get shot by me because you keep eating food. See, that there was the polecat going downstairs to eat something it didn't have any right or access to. Yeah, run. We're gonna make you regret your existence. Didn't want to have to mass hunt them all, but like, for real, not respecting physical walls. It's kind of like the beggar all over again. The immortal beggar. Well, I guess he was pretty mortal. But the beggar that never left. $60. I'm just making sure they're... Yeah, okay, they have a basically full load. Cool. It's not a bad idea, given that it's the 8th of autumn, and we're like 4 days away from winter, to amass meat anyway. So I totally don't mind the concept of hunting a bunch of polecats for that purpose. It actually benefits us. So it's like, cool, you know, whatever. If the polecats are eating our animal feed, well, we'll eat the polecats. Alright, looking good. So, Klein, according to you, you were done mining... No, what? Okay. Let's cancel... I'm gonna hate to do this, because I'm just gonna have to paint the clay mining again in the future. But there's stuff under us that we hadn't... He still hadn't finished this, and he moved on to mining elsewhere. A merchant visit. Okay, well, with any luck, this merchant won't stay forever. This merchant will actually leave when asked. So, Day Sleeper, are you ready to interact with the merchant before he decides to die in our butchery? that's the real question. Yeah, piss off, polecats. It's good. Oh, yep, there goes another one. At some point, our animal feed's going to be made of polecat, and the polecats will just be eating polecats. Look, the animals are even hungry. Well, that's just because you got stuck in the wrong room. Okay. Aren't you our animal hauler? What is going on here? Rope. Ciceron's like, yeah, no, I'm choosing to ignore you. Well, sorry, Terminal Serenity, but Ciceron has decided that you need to starve. So we're gonna play starve together, apparently. Alright, I think, I am going to replace these doors, because this polecat problem's gonna get annoying. Gates with doors, and that way the polecats can't just, like, intrude. It will look stupid, but it's a temporary fix anyway. And stupid but works, it still works. And yes, they will all need to be roped at the end, but that's fine. Alright, wood stocks are low. So, let's get mature and dead trees only. Actually, let's go for dead trees. Really aren't any, because I've been cutting them. Okay, cool. Mature trees, then. And Day Sleeper, I know you're sleeping, but let's trade. Please don't just be stuck. Okay, cool. Yay! We can interact with you. It's a miracle. They have 1 gold. Imagine being a merchant and like showing up with 1 gold. Bit of a head scratcher there. All right. Parting with the saplings makes a whole lot of sense, provided they have the carry weight for it. And are they showing up with anything that's actually interesting? Not really. I suppose we could take a coin. You know, let's buy their mead. 1 mead. So I certainly have a lot of stuff that I can sell them. They have stick traps. I'm not certain. Did I ever buy walnuts? I may not have. I'm not sure. I know I could break down this tainted clothing for its like raw materials, but I'm just going to sell it for the sake of time. Okay, so we need to balance this trade budget. Let's go with selling some fish. You can't even carry all that fish, so I have to have higher valued stuff. I'll sell you my dung bricks. Like, that would actually work. Well, no, it's too heavy, too. Lady, you show up, but you're unable to haul stuff away. This is a you problem, not a me problem. Barley? Yeah, okay, there we go. Fine. We have wares, but he ain't got coins till he traded. He also doesn't have carry weight. Some of the merchants that visit you just like are visitors more than merchants, and that's basically what this is. So once we have the doors built, we should be able to get Terminal Serenity out of that, because once we have the doors built, this will be designated as a pen, and then Terminal Serenity will be able to be roped again. I think that's what's going on here. Oh, yep, yeah, that's totally a reasonable way to leave. 46 degrees Fahrenheit out, and you swim. Okay, there we go. It's a proper pen again. We'll eventually rope them back. And then, because this will also want to be a temperature-controlled room, we will fill it up with clay walls. And it will mirror the kitchen on the other side. Yeah, it's possibly the goofiest animal planet I've ever made. And it's exactly what we needed. Now, the soil above this is not water, so we can dig this out and have it not flood. As you can see, we expanded the island to allow for that. And we're starting to get research. Nice. So what I'm trying to get now is steel before defensive structures. Because I'm not really interested in making like wrought iron doors and the like. They're just not going to hold up very well. So part of getting proper defenses is also to be able to utilize steel. I think, at least. And that's also going to be true for like arms and armor too. Is that... Oh, actually, that should be interactable because it's, like, diagonal from above. So that still should be okay. Now, the only other worry I have is if we continue to expand our food cellar down here, I don't want a situation where we're setting it up so that it can become flooded as a result of it being like a room that doesn't have built walls. And our stockroom is... okay, it's 5/7 filled or so. We've got lots of local clay. That's good. Good to see. All right. I don't think we need to go and murder everything anymore, because I don't think they can get into the pen anymore. So we can hold off on that. How much meat did we end up getting from that? 180 so far? And like almost 700 cabbage? Okay. Decent. Alright, Klein. How many times am I going to find you not doing your priorities? So, looking at your priorities, mine is a 1. And you mined almost nothing today. Must be a Sunday or something. Is Nightbot broken? No. We're gonna have bratwurst and sauerkraut all winter long? Yeah, we'll eat like kings, maybe. Oh, and even more friendships. Sweet. Oh, there we go. Okay, I see him working now. And our constructors are definitely eager to get work going. Well, this nothing room is almost done. We could definitely put the research down there as a stopgap, only because this is a room that's like gonna get removed. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, is I'm just gonna like shove research down there for now. This is obviously not our grand library. That would be an insult to all grand libraries everywhere. But it's a decent spot to keep the knowledge flowing. And then we could also even potentially have it be like technically a research room just to speed up research speed. Because there's a bit of a benefit to the designation. So that's what we'll do. Open up the room overlay. We can click on the spare room. We can say, hey, we want it to be a library. So we need to make a scholar lectern or a wall bookshelf. So we could do the wall bookshelf. It's not unreasonable. And this, I think, was due until 30, and the other one was due until 15. And this is so that we could get steel tech. Alright. All we're missing is the Scholar's Lectern. And that's found in the furniture tech. Which I... Where is that exactly? I like how I can click it and it's just like, unlock with library structures. Okay. So... maybe that's what we get first. 5 and 25. Just because our research speed will increase as a consequence. I think it's worth it. A little side quest, if you will. Alright, at this point... I know we need a heck of a lot of soil. And we could keep excavating down here. I think that's reasonable. Only because we can turn the area down here into into other rooms, bedrooms or prison chambers or infirmaries. There's a oh, that's not where I wanted to excavate. There's a lot of potential projects that we could have underground, because it will. One of the advantages of having things underground is we'll have the natural benefit of being secure as a result of being hard to siege from siege equipment because it's subterranean. Whereas surface stuff can easily be knocked over. Are you male? Okay, I'll raffle this animal off. So we'll have a breeding pair of cows. It's like the game doesn't get that I'm really not looking to ranch, and they're like, oh, here's more ranch animals. Just keep coming. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea. I rather like it as a concept, is to prepare the area down here for just, you know, additional whatever rooms. Maybe we'll have a strategic stockpile of cheese. But in the case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly replace all of the dirt down here with clay tiles, even though we're going to need a lot of clay tiles for the defense up top to dissuade flooding, to prevent flood risks and the like. So, do I have enough? No, I don't. Thank you for tuning in to Going Medieval Tower of Knowledge, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow colonists.